Hello everybody and welcome to my next match analysis video, and I'll be focusing on blue-white Thirst Skura control. Okay, now I think this archetype is very interesting, has a lot of depth in it, and I think it can really be the blue-white deck moving forward. So this is the deck I will be playing. 3 Thirst for meaning. I think 3 is the good number, the correct number. For 3 mana counter spells, a bit of Teferis, which work beautifully with Omen of the Sea. 4 off, enchantment removal. Remember, these are flash. Silhouettes are flash. Omen is flash. So it says enchantment, but it's almost all instant speed deck. Thirst is flash. Even this can be flash, having Teferi, flash. So that's a very instant speed oriented deck. 3 Mentor, 3 Rest in Peace, 3 Dispute, 3 Gust, Dream Trawlers. This deck is hyper focused. I know what I want to beat. I know what I want to do. And today we'll be facing 5-color Nymph Mizzet. See you then. Game 1. Okay, this is the hand I open. I'm on the draw. I look at this hand and this is a very interesting hand. So people who like playing risky magic would probably keep, and more conservative players would mulligan. And to be fair, there is a very strong argument to keep actually, because when you look at a hand, you see what does this hand lack: interaction, card advantage, lands. What does this hand lack? And this hand lacks lands. Okay, sure. A lot of people keep hands and they say, okay, I just need to draw a land. But very often, in practice, they need to draw actually several lands. But this hand actually needs to draw a land, because it goes Omen of the Sea, go 3 deep, and a draw step. Again, we play 25 lands, so it's very likely that you hit that 3rd land. Then you've got Scry. So you could very well, I think, Omen of the Sea, because that's a powerful card, can really pull you onto the turn 4 for the verdict. However, if you miss, you die, right? And because I am a conservative player, I'm not a gambler, and I do take calculated risks, but I think that's an unnecessary risk to take. So I take a mulligan. I look at this hand, and this hand is magnificent. 4 lands, interaction. What do I bottom here? Because I have to bottom something. So my thought process is that until turn 4, I will have had 4 draw steps, which is plenty, right? Not counting Omens, which dig, not counting Teferis, which dig, Thirst, which digs. So having all that in mind, I'm going to bottom a land. Okay. Now, the next thing is which land. I'll be bottoming Field of Ruin, because I think this card is a good late game card, but early it just doesn't add much. And we've got quite difficult cost. Like Novice Veto is quite restrictive on mana. I want to have both that, and I'd rather have late game Castle than Field of Ruin, like on average. So let's play the game. My opponent goes Passage into tapped Swamp on their main phase. Sure, so probably something like green-black deck. I draw a piece of interaction, so I'm happy about that. Island go. Classic. My opponent plays Temple Garden and then Caryatid, so I'm thinking probably, yeah, still this kind of green-blackish, maybe Abzan. Abzan deck. I cannot do anything, so Plains go to be able to have Dovin's Veto up. I might not need it, but who knows? My opponent goes Uro. So now I want to make perfectly clear, because I couldn't counter Uro. I just couldn't. But if I could, I wouldn't. That card doesn't affect the board state that much. It's just 3 mana, draw, play a land. I really don't care about it. I really don't care. If I could syncopate it, okay, I'd be leaning towards it, but I'm not very optimistic about countering such a spell, to be honest. Because again, it doesn't threaten me. And my opponent misses the land completely. Sure, okay. Yeah, cannot do anything, play a land go. I'm not exposing castles. I've said that many times. I like to keep castles, you know, in my hand because I don't want to expose some Field of Ruin effects if I don't need to and I cannot activate it. And there is no upside in playing castle here. Nahiri, and now this game will be a great example of, do I counter? What do I counter it with? So which counterspell do I use? Because I have to. So think about it for a moment. Now my logic is, if you have already thought of the answer, is to use Sinister Sabotage. Okay? Think for a moment why. My answer is that I'm more mana efficient. That's one thing, but I think that's less of a thing. The biggest reason is that I can double counterspell the following turn, and that's what I'm putting, you know, that's what I find very, very important, okay? So now I sabotage so that next turn I can play Veto and Syncopate, okay? I see a land on top, so I ditch it. Okay, so Glacial Fortress, again, not exposing this, no reason to shock as of now. Go, I've got 2 counterspells. My opponent taps black, and now I'm thinking it's probably Niv deck, right? Teferi, another situation. Do I counter? Yes, I do, because I've got 2 counter spells. So if I don't counter him, he shuts off 2 cards of mine. Now, what do I counter with? And now I think the answer is Veto, because if they are a Niv deck, they have a lot of powerful different spells. And Syncopate can tag any spell. Like this one tags only non-creature spells, okay? And because I'm, you know, very good on mana, and if they don't play into my counter spells, I can use castles, and they are kind of stuck on mana. I think Syncopate will shine. So Veto, that's one. Now they play Blooming Marsh tapped, so normally I would still say Absent, but obviously the spells don't agree. Okay, I dig through time, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to play land untapped to be able to dig. I play Castle Vantress. Why? Because if they play a discard spell, for example, right, they could take dig and then I can still Vantress EOT. And because I'm not countering a Thoughtseize. Campbell, I don't care about Campbell. Right? I'm sorry I passed through, but I've got an answer, Silkrop, and that's not a really, you know, a clock. So that's absolutely not a problem. Okay, now I'm digging because I think that's the best use of my mana. Obviously, I could Vantress, but I'd rather have these 2 cards. Think for a moment what you'd take. My answer is, and I'm looking at this right now, what I'm thinking is, I want Sabotage, because that's the best way to fight this deck. I'm taking a Sabotage, and now, I don't need removal spells. I might take a Verdict to clean it up. I know they have problems with mana, right? But if I Verdict on the next turn, then I cannot hold up that Sabotage. I could hold up Syncopate. I could take, okay, Seal Away is like not really good. Cast Out is fine, but they have these walkers which generate value on entry, right? So Cast Out is obviously like medium, and I could. So now looking at it now, I take Sabotage, then I think for a bit longer, and I think I'd take the risk probably of playing Verdict and holding up Syncopate, pay 1. I know what I end up doing, however, is taking a Castle Ardenvale, and I really don't remember my own reasoning. It's probably defendable because now it's like a clock thing, and I think one of the reasons is also I don't want to bottom an Ardenvale. But again, looking at it now, I probably wouldn't have taken that one. And now I don't Silkrop it here because they've got 4 mana up, and I can only use 1 counter spell. Okay, so the same logic, and I really don't care about that Campbell right now. Okay, so that's not a problem. They pass, they don't attack. Probably they're afraid of some kind of Seal Away Azorius Charm effect. And now they pay 5 for something. Okay, Bring to Light, so I have to counter that again. What do I counter with? is another question. I opt for using a syncopate because it starts losing its value, right? Slowly and slowly. So I syncopate that. They pass the turn. Now it's a beautiful situation because now I can verdict and hold up sabotage. So I will. Okay, that was very unfortunate for me because I thought they would be stuck on mana, but now they immediately play the other two colors. Siege Rhino. Now, again, do I count or not? My thought process. I don't, okay? Because if they play a spell on the following turn, really threatening spell, I can sabotage and dig. If they don't, I've got Castle Vantress, and I've got way more answers to creatures than to non-creatures, right? And still, before it kills me, it really takes some time. So I'm not countering that one. Omen of the Sea, again, just opt, and Omen is like just no comparison. So I'm slamming it main phase because I could draw, for example, a small Teferi, which I would use, or I don't know, some kind of Supreme Verdict. Like basically the thing here is that I know what I don't want. Doesn't matter whose turn it is, but I've got some spells which would be better if I try to have them main phase. Okay, I'm taking an Omen because why not? Powerful card. Now I don't pay 2 because is a bit risky. And now, if they play a spell, I sabotage. If they don't play a spell, I can Vantress. Or if they don't play a spell, I can pop it and then cast, or cast and then pop it. And no. Really, I've got a lot of options. I take the damage because I really want to have the counter spell up. And I don't want to just cast Omen. Let's see what happens. I'm using my life total as a resource, basically. And I know they cannot just kill me out of nowhere from 7. They're casting a Bring to Light. Yep, it's 4 colors, but I just don't know what might happen. So I'm just sabotaging it. Dig Through Time. I've got 3 cards in the graveyard. I will end step Omen. This is a 4th card. So I would have to pay 1, 2, 3, 4 for a dig. And I think it's good enough. But what I decide to do then is ditch it, yes, which I think I disagree with, right? So that's also very important to do. So whenever I play a game of Magic, and like this format, video format of match analysis is great for me as a player, because that's not something we do very often, and we should, okay? Just kind of come back to games we play and think why, because a lot of games we lose is because of us, you know. I mean, they drew well, we didn't draw well, but, you know, very often it's on us, okay? So that's why I really like checking how I played and do I agree with myself. Okay, double bottom, that's actually quite easy. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, excellent draw. Thirst for Meaning main phase, I've told you, I think Thirst for Meaning is more like a Brainstorm card rather than a Glimmer of Genius card, so I think it's just like fix our draws, and that would be a situation to fix my draw because I don't really want Silk Wrap. I'm playing the more powerful card, so Teferi, because he doesn't die to this. Alright. I draw Thirst for Meaning. Okay, sure. So you can say that they could have another Rhino, right? And that is an argument, right? That is an argument. But if they had another Rhino, wouldn't they have played it before Bring to Light to bait out a counterspell? Because Siege Rhino is the less powerful card, so I think they would have played it before. And I think that's a good, you know, instead of doing Bring to Light for 4, which might have been for the Rhino, okay, actually. So because they didn't play a Rhino and they played this, and because this was for 4, it makes me think they don't have a Rhino. That's why this play, I think, is relatively safe. I draw another Thirst, I untap Go. They go to attacks. They attack they attack me, and that's very scary. But I'm in no position to be able to try to play around it as of now. Okay, they're cutting Siege Rhino. Okay, because they want to use ribbons. Okay, the following turn kill me. I have to remember that. Okay, end step. Now, I can use Castle of Interest to dig 2. Dig 2, dig 3. Okay, again, like a brainstorm. And because I'm in this precarious position, every card dipper matters, so I'm doing this. Okay, you could ditch this, you could ditch double that. I think there is a strong argument to just ditch Silkra because lands are actually valuable. And now, I remember this game, and this was the moment where I paused. Okay, you will not be able to see it, but I paused for, I don't know, 10 seconds, 20, 30. I really didn't know how to play it out. Because I can seal away the Rhino, and I'm done with the threat. But I know they could have like Abrupt Decay. I mean, specifically Abrupt Decay, because anything else I can possibly counter. Specifically Abrupt Decay. And then it re-enters the battlefield, I immediately lose. The upside is that, again, I'm done with the threat, and I'm just playing with the cards in their hand. And I have got plenty of cards and things to do. Right? And I think that's a precarious position. I could just untap, downtick here, but it means I need to have a counter spell specifically, right, for that Rhino. So I know what I did. Okay, think of what you, and I think, would I seal away? I know I did seal away, and that was the risk I took. Would I seal away now? That's tough. I think that's tough, because it's not about, just if they have Abrupt Decay I lose, sure, but it's about, again, this calculating risk from before. Like, if they don't have Abrupt Decay, it's very difficult, and it's about the lists they play, right? You have to think about what kind of cards these decks tend to play. And if we go to MTG Goldfish, let's do it literally now. Let's do it literally right now together. Open Pioneer, open Niftalite, preliminary 5041. Actually, here's the breakdown, right? 2 in 100% of decks. Okay? Also, every Bring to Light finds an Abrupt Decay. That's a really precarious position. And they very well may have Abrupt Decay because they have got 2 cards in hand, right? And it makes sense that they wouldn't have played it because they didn't have any reasonable target. So I think now I've talked myself out of doing that play, but I did. So let's play the game knowing that that's what I did, okay? I play a Teferi first, so I know my turn is going to be undisrupted. I plus here first, because here there's only one option realistically, so let's see what happens. Always do the cards which give you only one outcome first, before you do things which can give you options. Because, for example, now with Teferi, I can think what I want to do. My decision is to bounce my own Omen. And draw a card. So I've got Sabotage and Omen of the Sea. Okay. Getting together. Okay, so no reason to do anything as of now. Let's see what happens. Now I'm sweating terribly because of the possible Abrupt Decay. Let's see what happens. They pay okay. So I need one counterspell specifically. Okay. I've thought of sabotaging first, and then I thought again of sabotaging first, and then I decided to sabotage first. Sabotage on top, yes. I think instead of sabotaging, I would have omened first, because that gives me more options and to see what happens. I don't want Howl Fountain, I do want sabotage. Now I've got 2 useless lands, so I'm either omening or brainstorming. I've got 2 useless cards in my hand, so I'm Oh, I didn't brainstorm. Oh, I'm clever. Yes. So that's the thing. I am really conservative with it. Like now, watching the game, I probably would have fired this off, but I can see I'm really conservative. I like that. That was I like that. Again, it's more like a brainstormer's card. Okay, I don't want an island. Omen of the Sea is excellent. Let's do it. Let's, play Teferi because I can do nothing more with it. Plus Teferi because I can do nothing more with it. And now having full information, for example, from the card of Teferi. I don't want either card because they don't attack. They don't attack me. Let's untap 2 lands. Again, and this version has so much staying power. Like Opt and Azorius Charm are so just uncomparably bad compared to like this. I still have so much engine. I never flood out, basically, right? Because I always have something to do. Now, what they are doing is Nivmiz. Okay. I have to counter that, so I will. They've got this green-black mana up. God. Teferi. Don't want a Teferi. Yeah, binned it. I want counter spells. Oh, yes. A creature. Yes, a creature. I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, so I can double spell this turn. So I'm omening first. I don't want Seal Away, I don't want Teferi. I draw a Seal Away. And now I can go sacrifice it again. Okay, 2 cards deep. I don't want any of them. A counter spell. Okay. Teferi plus. Another Teferi plus. Sure. I will probably leave it until the ultimate. But I've got manas per mana, right? So, because I will untap. Do this, I'll probably discard a Seal Away. But thinking about it now, I probably should have discarded 2 lands because the game is over next turn, one way or another. And I know that. I mean, they could have a hasty threat, and I have barely any cost to playing around it. Okay, so they've got the last possible turn. They have to play Abrupt Decay or they lose. They play Nifmizer. I say nope. Remember, Caryatid gives mana, so that's something to remember. I'm syncopating it. 1 card in hand. Okay, that's Paradise Druid. Some of my game's actions are barely relevant, but I don't want to fire off this because it's exile. It draws. So I'm just kind of, let's cry a bit, but doesn't really matter. Let's ultimate Teferi. And I will just play the game. Let's just see what I do. Exile here. That's the pace I played it at. So play a Teferi, bounce Omen, which is a draw, which exiles, and play an Omen, which is another exile. First, yep, why not? 3 triggers. Exile everything I need to. I also have a Verdict to clean up the board. So let's Verdict, why not? I will probably Verdict. I think I should have Verdicted at least, okay? Just... Okay, and I win. That was a long game, but yeah, we managed. Yeah! See you game 2. Game 2. Okay, so now I open this hand after sideboarding, so let's see how I sideboarded. I sideboarded out 1 cast out, all Seal Aways, all Silk Wraps, all the mass removal spells. Now, this is problematic, and I still haven't figured out how I want to sideboard in this matchup. So I'm still working on it. I've sideboarded in really a lot of counter magic. So as you know from myself, I sideboarded in Dream Trawler, and this is the reason I don't board Supreme Verdict, because I've got Dream Trawler and Mentor, and I think they will dominate the battlefield, and they can win me the game, instead of like Supreme Verdict controlling the battlefield but not winning me the game, right? So I think these cards are just better, right? Ethergast, Mystical Dispute, all these effects post-board, okay? So I'm much leaner. I'm pure draw, go. This hand is beautiful because I've got 2 turn to Omen of the Sea, so you cannot miss a 3rd land. I've got interaction on 2 if I need to, and just it goes off from there. Let's just play the game. My opponent goes Temple Garden, go. I play Tapped Land, go, because I have to. They play Tapped Land, go. Sure, so I play Island, go. So they play tap land, go. So, okay, now I want to take it step by step because that's important. Omen of the Sea, I see a land and a trawler. What would you do? Obviously, I will just take a land, trawler bottom, another land. Now, what do you do? So I think so I can easily hold up mana because I've got all these things to do. But on the other hand, I can push the game a bit, right? If I slam Teferi, they cannot answer it once it's on the battlefield. They have to have a removal spell. And to be honest, I think turn 3 is one of the most crucial turns to tap out because they untap on 4, and that's not as scary as untapping on 5. So on 5, I want to have some kind of mana up, okay? And Monastery Mentor is way more powerful than Teferi. And if I play Mentor and if, for example, I decay it or trophy it, I'm much sadder. So actually pass. Okay, again, very conservative. Paradise Druid. And they could have problems with mana. I decide to fire off an Aethergast to slow them down. And then I untap. Oh, they play a land. Okay. I play a land. I don't need to play a Hallowed Fountain. Pass. Again, I think I would have preferred to play a Teferi. Crack. Okay, they've got perfect mana this game. They just don't know how to tap. Nahiri, I cannot let it resolve. So I'm playing a Sabotage again, because next turn I want to play either one of these threats and have a Syncopate. Yes, I do want a Dovin's Veto. Now if they got 1 mana up, which is not blue, so I can set up the situation with Teferi first or slam Mentor right away, and I do, because again, if he sticks, that's game. And I've got an answer for a Niv for 5 and okay, decay. Yup, nothing I can do about it. Paradise Druid, no problem. That was a very poor outcome for me, honestly, but now I've got plenty of counter magic. I'm slamming Teferi going up because I can tag Niv Mizzet and any spell. Okay, because it also counts as Niv Mizzet. So I feel very safe. Now they play Rakdos's Return, so it cannot resolve. I cannot do it for 1 because of this, that's important to remember. I cannot do this, so I have to veto, and so I do. Okay, Field of Ruin. So I use this here because his passive is like, and let's do it again. Because now I can Syncopate and Dispute for 1 and then Syncopate for 1, which could be relevant. D-Sphere. So now I count up, I cannot do that. I count up their mana, I've got 3 mana. So what I decide to do is like, okay, I will cast this, triggers, they will tap 3, I will Syncopate for 1, triggers, and they will have tapped out, and my situation will be much, much better. So let's just play this turn. So that happens, I auto-yield, pay 3, they decide to pay 3, they got baited, I mean, I don't think they could have done anything different. Nice Syncopate, again a trigger, or triggers. They cannot pay. I untap. Whoa! Just stop. Yeah, but I played Omen because I drew Omen. I decided to play it main phase to pump it up. I see a Sabotage, which I think is excellent. I play a land. I've got Thirst for Meaning. I can bash. I upped Teferi. And that's it. That's the game, because that's how powerful Mentor is. And that's why I play 3, by the way. So, I'm not afraid of the late game, because there is no late game sometimes. So thank you very much for that game. And please remember to like the video, to comment if you like anything, if you dislike anything, if you want to suggest some kind of other matchup for me to play, or to show you maybe some other video format and not match analysis. Thank you very much for all your support. Remember to play your lands in front, and everything will be great. Cheers!